to bring back the curl files. This is something I used to do on my blog, thriftsandtangles.com. I used to interview people to share their hair journeys and like everything about like if they face any hair discrimination, what products they use, what are their hair motto, what's their hair tips, like anything like that. I used to do that over on the blog, but we're bringing it over to Instagram Live, so I'm really excited. Today we are going to be interviewing Flo. She is the Blended Beauty. She'll be joining soon, and we're going to dive into her hair journey. So I'm really excited. It's going to be a really good conversation. If you all have any questions about her hair journey, just drop them in the comments below, and we'll answer those questions. I've been extremely dizzy lately, so if I seem off, that is why. But we're gonna work through it. We're gonna have a good conversation. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Yours truly, Design. Aw, we miss you too. We were just talking about you the other day, so I'm glad you're here. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk all things hair. Natural hair is such a, like, it seems very daunting, the idea of going natural sometimes in the beginning. It's like, okay, how do I find what products to use? How do I accept any criticism about my hair? How do I feel confident with my hair? So there's a lot that goes into the natural hair journey, and it's always more than just hair. So Flo from the Blended Beauty just joined, so we are going to okay, I just accepted it. Let's see. Accept. Okay. She should be joining soon. There we go. Oh my gosh.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you? You're gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. Stop it, Tyler. You are gorgeous. Look at you. I love this hair shape. I don't think I told you that before, but this hair shape is just giving.
Thank you. Yeah. I got a haircut a while ago, and I didn't love the shape of it, but now it's grown into, I'm like, okay, this is good. I'm happy.
It looks so good. I love it.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited to do the curl files, all about Flo. And is this true? You've never really shared your hair journey before? Is this true?
I've shared it in the very beginning. I've been in these internet streets for a long time, but that was when you think of me as a creator, that was the first thing I got into, was a lot of hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyone who hasn't heard the journey yet, I know you said you're very unique, so I'm excited to hear it because I haven't heard it personally.
Yeah, so you get to hear it now too.
Yes. All right. So first, let's introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll dive into your curl file.
Okay. Hey, hi everybody. My name is Flo, aka the Blended Beauty. I am the creator behind the Blended Beauty, where I share a ton of different steps to become a more sustainable, conscious consumer in the clean beauty space, lifestyle space. And I'm also an influencer creator, so I love doing a lot of different styles in terms of teaching a lot of other influencers how to become very confident in what they're doing, and then also just become a business owner. I think that in influencer marketing, that's one of those things that creators just don't know how to do. So I like to demystify the business side and help you get paid more.
Yes, Flo is amazing. She goes live every week to share pitching tips, negotiation tips. I've learned so much from you, Flo, about just charging your worth and knowing how to talk to brands and just being confident in those numbers. So everything you do is so needed in this space.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so let's dive into the curl files. So when did you first decide to embrace your natural hair?
So this actually started when I turned 13. So as you said, you've never heard my curl story. So my curl story is very unique because I didn't have curly hair when I was born. My hair was bone straight. I am biracial. My mother is Asian. She's from the Philippines, and my father is from Barbados. So that mixture at the time, before I was 12, straight hair, no issues, no complaints. But when I hit puberty, whatever happened, I was like, hold on, what is going on? I was so upset. I didn't like myself for a very long time, trying to kind of just be in this space to where I just didn't know what was going on. I grew up majority with my mother's side of the family, so they all had bone straight, long black hair. And I remember distinctly when I asked my mom for a relaxer, I put her hair on mine. I was like, I just want to be like this. What's going on? And it was like a pivotal part for me to just try to be accepted. That's also, around the time where you're in middle school, about to go to high school. You just want to be with it like everybody else at that time. That's not a place where you want to stand out or be different. And I went to a predominantly white school. A lot of the Black people at my school also had relaxers. So I was like, this is what I need to be. And it was hard because the initial parts of why I wanted to embrace it was having natural hair. I'm sorry, having relaxed hair was just very time consuming, and it actually never made my hair truly straight. As y'all know, with people with curly hair, you get a relaxer, your hair's a little looser, but it's not straight. And I was like, this is not right. I don't want to do this. I think it's time for me to just figure out who I am, how to take care of my hair. And going natural at the time that I went natural was not very popular. Nobody else did it. So just kind of trying to find information on what to do, how to take care of my hair. I was on, if you guys are, I was going to show my age. I don't know if you guys remember like folky pages where women would share their hair care journeys through blog posts. Very old school, like hair journey type stuff. And only like two or three YouTubers at the time were sharing like natural hair. Naturally 85, y'all probably know her from YouTube. One of my only people I had like to source like inspiration from. And from there I took like a 3-year journey to embrace the hair that I had. But it was really hard. I oftentimes felt very isolated because I was one of the only mixed people, again, going the route of changing to natural. A lot of my family members would give me just really bad, mean um, comments till they still to this day say like they claimed for me to be called Mufasa, which is Mufasa is the lion and in Lion King. My brother still calls me that to this day. I can't change it. I've told him about it. He doesn't care. I'm like, okay, whatever, like whatever. But yeah, like all those small little microaggressions, um, are just really hard. They're just really hard to deal with. They're really hard to manage. And when I got to college, it was great because as I'm embracing this journey, understanding the different methods to take care of my hair, trying different styles, that's when people were really into the movement, and people kind of saw me in my college campus as the go-to person to really kind of get, okay, what are you using, what's the budget friendly thing to use, and what conditioner, what methods are you using, and all the things, to where it's my staple. It's something that I have truly embraced, love, and even now, like I haven't straightened my hair since my college graduation, which was back in 2014. So I just don't have a need to do it. I kind of just I love the hair that I have. And if you again asked me when I was 11 or 12, I would have been like, who are you? Like, what is this on top of your head right now? So yeah, it's it's definitely been a whirlwind of things.
My goodness. I love that you touched on so many things right there. First, it's so obnoxious that we have to deal with microaggressions no matter what age we are.
Yeah.
Because it's like embracing your natural hair is not something that we see a lot. We don't see a lot of representation of natural hair. And so just having the courage to wear your hair natural, you're like, okay, I'm doing it. I already don't feel comfortable. But then you get those microaggressions and it's like, oh, like it makes you kind of doubt, like, am I doing the right thing? Should I just
Yes.
axer?
Yeah.
So how were you able to navigate some of those microaggressions? Did those affect your self-esteem, or did you kind of like brush them off, or did you just grow into learning, how to deal with them?
It was definitely growing into learning how to deal with them. I think at the time, I didn't know how it truly affected me until I started like journaling and kind of getting into more of just self practicing of just kind of doing my own like gratitudes. But before, I would just lead into them like, yeah, Mufasa, whatever. But then really just feeling like crap because it's like, okay, wow, like y'all are just stepping on me for being me. Like that sucks. And you can't change family, so it's kind of like just like, okay, cool, like I could tell you my feelings and you don't care. And also with my mother being Asian, that and then my dad also being more of like an old school kind of guy, like, why don't you straighten your hair? I'm like, wow, y'all are making this so hard to just fully take this on. So not having any type of really support. So for me, a lot of it was through inspiration online. Again, at that time, having those emerging creators. For me, again, naturally 85 was a huge one for me. I loved her so much. I still love her till this day. And just kind of finding other girls that were going through this process and trying to embrace their hair. So that for me was like the biggest kind of turning point in finding that online community to kind of ask those questions, and then ultimately being one of the people that people would ask questions to because I've done it and I've been through what they've been through.
No, I love that you journaled it and, kind of like looked within, because it's
Yes.
outside noises are telling you do this, straighten this,
Mhm.
but then it's even crazier because you didn't always have curly hair. So I feel
So
like your story's so
new, yeah, so new to try to figure out, like, okay, this is me, like this is how it's turned it out. Another thing too with my hair is actually in a braid out right now, but another thing that I struggled in with my natural texture is so many different textures in my head. So the length, like the bottom layer of my hair is more looser, like Shirley Temple curls, and the crown and the sides of my hair are very much so just thicker tech, like a thicker, oh, I can't talk today, a thicker texture, a thicker density. So finding a shape that worked for me, and just kind of just understanding like what the porosity of my hair is and how, like, what type of strands that I have, so I can understand what particular products work for me. Because if you know, like, if you have more finer hair, putting on oils and butters all the time isn't really good for your hair. It kind of weighs it down. It doesn't really hold a curl. It doesn't hold the moisture that you need. So going through that process of just fully educating myself on like the science behind hair was really interesting too.
it's a whole journey, because there's so much is more than hair. You have to learn what products to use, the porosity, like you said, textures. Although they do say curl texture isn't the determination for some products, right? Like some of the YouTube education we
Yeah,
got, if you,
even from back in the day. Yeah, I'm not the type of person that types, like, I don't really like stand by, oh, I have type
mm-hmm,
3C. Nah, I don't. Like, I have, like I said, I have like 4 or 5 different textures in my hair. So to say I have that one thing, that's more of like a marketing thing, I feel
yeah,
like, to help people identify. But I think that more so the better thing is to understand your porosity and understand what type of strands you have. Do you have thicker strands? Do you have finer strands? Because somebody can have fine hair but also have thick strands, like I do. Like, I have a ton of hair but it's just very fine. So some people might have not a lot of hair but have even more thinner hair. So it's one of those things that people just need to kind of educate themselves on their own individual hair to kind of get fully what they need.
yes, exactly. You can go online to kind of see someone who's similar to you for inspiration and to find that supportive community, so you're not alone.
Yeah.
But it really is like everyone's different. Every hair strand is different. I do want to talk about, I was talking to someone recently, and they were saying they wish they had worn their natural hair on their wedding day. And you wore
Yes,
your wedding
I
day. How
did.
did you come to that decision?
It was just natural. I think that I just never, it's so funny, it's just natural. I just never, I didn't even envision myself with straight curls. That's not me. I love people who want to have that specific look, but I, even like with my make, I told you about this too. I did my own makeup and did my own hair. I didn't feel the need to just completely transform myself and to beat my face to the gods to to showcase myself to the world and my husband. It's like, y'all know what I look like. I'm gonna enhance my beauty all day long, but I'm not going to manipulate my curls, be all day with the stylist, and do all the things. It's just not something that I wanted to do. This is who I am. You love me for me. You love me for this hair. I'm not going to change it because it's some special day for society to kind of put myself in some princess effect. That's just not something that I did. And that's not something that I really attest to. So again, no shade to anybody who wanted to do that, who wanted to have an envision for that. Just me, for my envisionment for my hair, it was going to be curly. So I just wanted that because that's who I truly am.
I love that. And it's so interesting to hear from the beginning where you had straight hair
Girl,
to then
yes.
like, okay, what is this natural hair, to them being like, what? I have no, what? Why? I wouldn't straighten my hair on my wedding day. Like
Yeah.
that whole journey to get from
Yeah.
point A to are now. I'm sure that was, a long process.
Hmm.
It probably other embracing your natural self is in your natural hair. It's like, okay, it's not just hair. It's like you learning to love yourself. You are mixed, so you probably, they always say biracial children have like some identity
Oh,
stuff. They kind
oh, that's a completely different story for a
of
completely different day, girl. Like, having an identity. I had such an identity. We'll go into it a little bit. Like, I was the girl who in high school had blue contacts. Like, yeah, it was one of those. I live in the South too. I'm in the South, so being in the South, being all around with, white girls with blonde hair, blue eyes, it was a thing. Yeah. And it was, yeah, it's something like you said, once you embrace and that wasn't at that time, there were, again, straighten my hair, like even when it was curly, still straightening it because I wanted to fit in, like that whole struggle. But you're absolutely right when you say, like, when you transition to now having natural hair, it changes everything for you. Not only do I now have a very like distinct way of caring for my hair, caring for myself, what I eat, what I put on my like clothes that I wear, like that whole like transfer. It's like a whole ecosystem that works, and I think that that happens with so many other women or men who are transitioning to natural hair. It's like everything changes. You want to just do better overall. And yeah, it's definitely something that I feel like is a very full circle thing that has transitioned me to what I do and talk about today in terms of sustainability and just being a conscious consumer and understanding like where you can fit in and do things for the planet. It's such a cool thing. It's such a thing to kind of think about when you do one thing that impacts so many different things in your life.
No, when I was like, I'm gonna embrace my natural hair, I was like, okay, I gotta stop eating McDonald's, I gotta stop eating chocolate, my hair to be healthy. But it's like those little changes were for vanity reasons, but then when overall it was better for my life all
Yeah,
around, and then so it's very funny how one little thing, like you said, can impact your life in ways you don't even
yeah.
imagine. Oh, thank you for sharing. If anyone has any questions for Flo, please drop them in the comments. And then I guess, do you have any advice for anyone who is looking to go natural but maybe is hesitant to do so?
Oh, it's such a great question. I think that when you are in a space to where you're trying to figure out, okay, I want to go natural, I think it's one of those things that can be super liberating to just figure out, okay, the step that I want to take for myself is, where is this coming from? As you said, that there's so many different things. Like, I want to embrace my hair, I want to actually see what my natural hair texture is. So many women don't even know what their natural hair texture is. They've been going to salons with their mom or their grandma, had their hot comb their whole like life, every Sunday just hot combing their hair. They have no idea what their texture is, or because it's relaxed, again, that's still a thing. I think people still relax their hair, you don't even know it. It's so manipulated. Or if you straighten your hair all the time, it's heat damage to the fact that that's not a curl anymore. So I think it's one of those things where you need to kind of just understand how to go about it. Some women want to do the complete, like, big chop. They grow their hair out to a specific length and then they chop it all off. Or some people want to transition with keeping their hair, but then just doing twist outs and braid outs. So I really feel like you have to understand what type of person you are basically in that realm and then go from there. For me, I was not the person that did a big chop. I just chopped my hair slowly but surely over time, and I just did braid outs and left my hair in a bun or just did different things to slowly get all of the relaxed hair off. But I think that that's one of those things that you kind of have to figure out, and then gaining that inspiration from others and having a support group. There's so many great resources now in 2024. Naturally Curly is still a big one. It's a publication I'm sure you know about. But different online communities, whether that's through Reddit or through Facebook or through Instagram, and just finding your community there. I know so many of my friends have started their hair care journey by documenting it online and just kind of finding other people doing that too and starting challenges and stuff. So I feel like now in 2024, there are so many different things that you can do to embrace your hair. And also, as we're on the topic of that, I think that there's so many different ways now that people are trying to find ways to kind of naturally add in certain things to their hair, whether it's through hair care products or through techniques. Like there's this surge of so many different people curling their hair, as you've probably seen with those little the rollers for people use like bathrobes now, like, oh, this is my protective style. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like, it made me just want to be like, I wish they had all these things when I was doing it, because didn't really have all those, right? But yeah, there's so many, I feel like there's just so many different opportunities, different communities, different ways that you can just be a part of something to help you along that journey so you're not doing it alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's being alone in this, it makes it so hard. So just knowing, I love that you shared that you don't have to be alone. Like Reddit, people love Reddit. Reddit's a
Mm,
place to
yeah, I love me some Reddit. I'm more of a sleuther on Reddit. I just like reading, but
be.
I love me some Reddit.
But no, there are a lot of really good communities and creators. And it's funny because even on Pinterest, like Pinterest, when I'm sure when you first went natural, if you typed curly hair, it was probably curled hair, right?
Hmm.
Like Pinterest filters where you can filter by hair type or
Yes.
really, and it'll pull up inspiration. And like there's so many amazing things that are happening in the natural hair space. And so you don't have to be alone in this. There's plenty of naturals.
Yes.
Flo was the go-to girl for her campus, so she might be
Yes,
your
we had a group called the Curly Girl Connection. Oh my God, it was so cool. It was so cool. We'd meet up every week, and some people would talk about how they tried different styles. So everybody knows like a basic braid out, twist out, but three strand twist, and then bantu knots, and pin curls, and all the things. So yeah, it was really cool. And then also just to mention, like you were just mentioning Pinterest. Another thing that you could do, which is still around, is really big here in Atlanta, is going to hair conventions. So, Talia Wajid is a really big one here. The Natural Hair Convention is big here. There's so many of them, and it's just one of those things that I know that the different groups have. If you can just meet up and find different products or find different vendors that might be local to you that can help out with those things too.
oh yes, Atlanta's like the mecca for the hair shows. So
Yes.
stuff. So yeah, definitely check those out. We had one question come in. So it's how do you get those beautiful curls to stay like that? Maya Adams is restarting her curly journey this summer. Sorry, I'm so dizzy.
Oh no, you're good. You're okay. It's all good. So she said, "How do?" Okay,
Okay,
well, in daily life, this is a braid out. So all I did with this is just braid my hair. I did two like plaits. Left this in for like 2 days. It's like one of those styles where you can do it and then you can just take it out and it's another style. But braid outs are super great. I have found for my hair, I like one or two creams that really I love to use when it's doing a braid out because it just leaves the style. The one that I personally like is called Flora Curl Style Me Hibiscus Styler. It is so good. I love it. And I've had this style in for like 6 days. And when I go to sleep,
oh my,
all I do is put my hair in a little bun in the morning and put my bonnet on and just make sure my roots are all right. But that's like one of my like very easy like lazy styles. But if you're talking about my full on like hair routine where you guys have seen like my really smaller spiral curls, I am a huge component of a person that loves to do really just cute styles where I'm just shingling my hair, meaning that you're going to take small sections and shingle it around your finger. Will that take long? Yes. But will your style last all week? Yes. And I would rather have a style that lasts all week than have to mess with my hair midweek refreshing. Like I'm not a fan of refreshing my hair unless I'm doing like a bun or something. But since you're restarting your journey, I think that the first thing that is really important is to understand what type of hair, and not typing, but like what kind of components of my hair is right now. Like what state is it in? And then figure out if, okay, do I want to do a full on big chop and just embrace it fully? Or do I want to transition it out to where I'm chopping it little by little? And then when you're doing that, I think that it's important to now understand, because if you have hair that's relaxed, you're going to have that mark of demarcation where the hair is straight and then you have, or the hair is curly and then it's even more curly because you have your real texture. So getting those things to match is really important. So I think that braid outs, twist outs, finding protective styles like bantu knots or pin curls, finding all those styles to figure out what can I maintain while I'm going through this so I'm not frustrated, because that's a big thing. Um, and then testing the waters, experimenting with the different styles that you have, and kind of getting into understanding what environment of your scalp. That's a big one too. Just kind of understanding what your scalp is. Do you have a very sensitive scalp? Is your scalp more normal? Is it oily? And figuring out what type of shampoo and conditioners are going to support your growth journey, because it's not just your hair. It's the main part of it is your scalp, and making that healthy so it can be a healthy environment so you can grow your hair out.
That was all good stuff. I'm like, yeah, awkward when you're, because I transitioned my hair, the awkward phase between curly and straight. It's like you don't want to go out wearing it. So finding those
Mhm.
styles that, like, my style was a bun with a headband.
Yeah.
And they clowned for it. They're like, you think you're doing something with that headband. But I'm like,
It helps. Out of sight, out of mind. Like whatever. Like it's here. Boom. Like it's gonna again. It's gonna continue to help you go through that process until you're comfortable chopping the rest of
yeah,
your hair off. Yeah.
exactly, because it's definitely a process. But this was so good. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Flo. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Go follow Flo at the Blended Beauty. If you want to know what products Flo uses, if you want to know like one of her hair secrets, and if you want to see pictures of her at the beginning of her hair journey, go to the link in my bio and subscribe to my newsletter. I'm dropping a new
Ah.
day at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and it's gonna have like inspired by Flo's the tagline, and it's gonna have more information about Flo. Flo, is there anything you want to share that we didn't cover? Anything you want to shout out?
um. Yeah, I think that it's just really important to understand that when you're in your natural hair journey, this is something for you, and it's something that you are doing that is going to have a huge impact on your life. I can't say it enough. I think that as we touched on it in the beginning, you really truly find out a lot of things that you just didn't realize from before, and it just makes your life better. And it's okay to get frustrated. It's gonna happen, but I think that having those like resources and inspiration to draw from, or having that community aspect to it, is going to really help you stay the long haul. Because I think that it's one of those things that I think a lot of people like, oh, I'm tired of it, and then they relax their hair. It's like, no, like just try it if you really truly want to do that. I think that it's just going to be a really great journey in understanding who you are.
Yes, the what did we call? What was it called? The college curl connection. What was it
Girl,
called?
the curly girl connection. Like if you went to BSU, shout out to Valdosta State University. That was our thing. Like it was so fun. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have this
Yes.
conversation, and I really enjoyed learning all about your curl file.
Thank you, Tyler. Bye.
Everyone for joining. Have a good day.